What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we're gonna talk more about this Dana White media coverage. Now, as you all know, Stephen A. Smith and Molly Qerim, they received a lot of backlash because they didn't cover that topic as much as they covered Kyrie Irving. Just any other topic that was big in the sports world. They didn't cover Brett Favre that much. They didn't cover this that much. But this Dana White thing, they covered Brett Favre more than this. It seems like nobody wants to touch it just because of what the UFC is. They will have to take certain actions, to make sure the punishment fit what was seen in public with him assaulting his wife. So, they've been hush mouth, and the higher ups have been guiding what's been allowed to be expressed or displayed on these television shows because, hey, they own it, and they tell them, look, they come in, they sit them down, they say, look, you cannot talk about this. So it has rubbed people the wrong way, and rightfully so. And Emmanuel Acho took time to speak on how he feels about this, and this is what he had to say. Check it out.
Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees.
Me leaving, it hurts my employees. It hurts the company. I have never heard a more narcissistic response from a leader of an organization than the response that Dana White just gave. Truly, the level of arrogance is incomprehensible. Dana White, you have to be held to a certain standard that your wife does not have to be held to because you are the president of UFC. We don't know her name. Now, while privately she should be held to the same degree of reprimand that you should be held to privately because she did indeed slap you and she did slap you first, Dana White, you have power. And to whom much is given, again, much is required. You have power physically over her, but you also have power over a company that captivates the attention of the country and at times the world during mega fights. And you don't know what they would do without you? That is as arrogant and narcissistic as the abuser who tells the person whom they have abused, who would you be without me? You would be nothing without me. You should just be glad that I'm in this relationship. That is what Dana White sounds like in saying this. Where are the checks and the balances? Imagine Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NBA, commissioner of the NFL, Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA. Imagine them being caught on camera and doing nothing. You know the reprimand that we give athletes for less? And Dana White has the audacity to stand on camera and say, what would they do without me? Punishment. What's a 30-day punishment to me? Dana White, you sound foolish, you sound arrogant, and that thought process is sick and sickening.
So, man, I think Acho hit the nail on the head. That was a narcissistic response. It shows no remorse, in my opinion. And I think the soft media coverage has enabled him to feel this way. He has this thing where he feels like it's going to go away because, hey, let's face it, it hasn't received the media coverage to keep it out in front of people. We've seen people slide through the cracks with egregious acts over the years when it doesn't receive the proper coverage. They'll rather force feed you something about what somebody's doing on the field or in the octagon or on the court or something like that. Or, a player like Kyrie with a tweet, or somebody who they think is a bust like Kwame, where they say, Kwame Brown's a bust, and just using all these examples, they'll rather keep that in front of you rather than someone who sits in a high position and their shortcomings. And I don't think that's right. Not saying targeting these people, but whenever they do something wrong, hey, the rules are the rules, right? You shouldn't do that behind closed doors or in public. But the fact that we saw it in public and there's been so little. Now, Stephen A. Smith, he tried to come back and talk about it once the backlash was too strong, which the network said, okay, we're getting a lot of pressure. Go talk about it. And Molly, it really upset me what Molly said about it because how she is on that show. We don't even have to go back down the line of some of the things she's done to try to assert her dominance on the show and how she speaks up. I think Stephen A. was talking about the Deshaun Watson thing, and she was going in on his perspective. But with this, she was talking about well, we can't judge. And that's like, whoa, you went like that on Deshaun Watson. Not saying he's innocent or guilty. I wasn't there. I don't know. But she went in because she wasn't there either. So she went in not knowing 100%. But with Dana White, oh, it's wait and see. Let's not judge. Nobody should be putting their hands on nobody. And while that premise is true, woman shouldn't hit a man, man shouldn't hit a woman. Dana shouldn't have took off on her like that in public. And to hear that from Molly is like, oh, these jokers really pick and choose. Like, it's actually insane at this point to sit around and see how much they pick and choose. So I guess, Dana White was talking about him going away, how it affects his employees and everything like that. I mean, that could be true, but at the same time, buddy, you can't just be out here living any kind of way you want. And put it like this. What happens when one of his athletes does this now? You know what I'm saying? One of the athletes in the UFC, what happens if they do it now? Do they just not get media coverage from it? It's gonna be an interesting thing to see. And I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong or one is better than the other. It's just going to be interesting to see how the particulars are handled when faced with this same scenario with a person who has a lower position within UFC or is one of the actual athletes in the in the ring. So I don't know, man. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Do y'all agree with Emmanuel Acho? Is he on the money? Do you think people are overblowing this, trying to get too much coverage on something that doesn't need coverage, or do you think it's too little coverage? I mean, I'm on record as saying I think it's not focused on enough, and it just shows the control. And when certain things have TV deals and certain people are at a level, I think people think they're beyond reproach, and that's never good. I look at the man, on the side of the road with nowhere to go, nowhere to stay, the same as I do the president of the United States. It don't matter to me. We're all people, at the end of the day. So I just don't think nobody's bigger than the program. But hey, unfortunately some people do, and some people in position think they do. So they're able to get away with certain things, man, on this earth. But God sees all, man. So hey, I just wanted to share that. But don't forget to share your comments on this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.